So, The Wickerlight, Book 2 to the Wren Hunt by Mary Watson. Thoughts so far? I'm only on about chapter 5, however I already have some thoughts and obviously they're going to develop and I'll see whether I'm right or not as we go along, but so far my overwhelming thought is how nice it is to see Wren again. This book pretty much follows directly on from the Wren Hunt, so it's supposed to not be a direct sequel or more of a companion novel where you can read this book without having read the first book. However, I would say that's not the case because I'm pretty sure this happens 2 months after the events of the Wren Hunt, and so far, and like I said, I'm only on chapter 5, but so far there have been things that have like majorly spoiled the Wren Hunt had you not read that before, and it's a tricky one because there's not so much like context as to what happened, it's just telling you what did happen, and obviously if you had any interest in the Wren Hunt, finding out what happened before you read that, like what's the point in you reading that because you already know it. So I would definitely say you have to read the Wren Hunt before this, and it would just be better for you to do that anyway because obviously you'll have all the context of who's who and what's what and what all the magic and everything is. But yeah, this is very much a direct sequel in my opinion. However, despite that being the nature of it, it does follow different characters. It's got a different narrative style. We've got 2 different narrators this time. That's right, we have 2 narrators as opposed to just 1 in the Wren Hunt. But yeah, so far there hasn't been too much happening. It is very much setting the scene and building on things. However, we already have the scene because we are familiar with Killshamble, so in that respect it's nice to be back, but at the same time it is nice to be learning about these new characters. And The Wickerlight is about a family who have moved to Killshamble as a bit of a clean start. Only the eldest daughter has been found dead on the village green without any kind of physical mark as to how she was killed on her body. And as we learn more about this case and everything, it turns out she was very linked to the local folklore and magic, and her sister, the middle child, is trying to figure out what was going on and why, and there are some links to characters that we previously saw in the Wren Hunt, most notably so far the judges. I'm not sure how the augurs are going to play in this, but the judges are very prominent in this book, which I'm quite glad about because I felt we didn't see as much of them in the previous book. So far my predictions are that the dead girl, Layla, has stolen something from the judges. There's something very important missing and she had ties to the magic, and I'm just like, it would make sense for her to have taken that, but I honestly have no idea right now. I'm only on page 48 of about 400. This is the manuscript. It's blamming big, so it's going to take me a while to get through, and like I said, that is my prediction, but it's not really based on a lot, that's just my gut feeling. But yeah, so far so good. I'll keep you updated and let's see if I was right about that. Okay, so another little update for The Wickerlight. I'm now on page 178 and I'm really enjoying it. At the minute though, I will say I think I'm enjoying it a bit less than the Wren Hunt. However, that could just be because we haven't hit the proper like mystery main plot point yet. Things are still kind of building up to that and we're learning about the characters and what they know and what's going on. So I think when we hit the really meaty actiony part, I'll really enjoy it. So yeah, it's going well so far, but a few more little thoughts for you all. Firstly, I think that my previous prediction about Layla somehow being involved with the missing judge artifact was correct. I'm not sure to what extent and whether she did in fact steal it, but she definitely knew about it, and some of the clues that Zara has found are adding up to that. So I'm interested to see where that goes because Layla is very much involved in the folklore and magic of Killshamble. Can you stop? Another thing is I really wish there wasn't the romance between two of the characters. I'm not going to say who because I don't know if it classes as a spoiler, but either way, I'm not a fan of it. I wish that this and the Wren Hunt didn't have any romance in. I think it would have just worked, not necessarily better, but it's not necessary. Like, the romance isn't adding anything to the story, so I personally wish it wasn't there because I don't care to read about that. However, I will give it the fact that it is a very slow burn and it is having time to actually develop, and it's not just insta love, you know, they've looked each other in the eye and it's, oh my god, I love you so much. They're getting to know each other, they're taking their time, nothing has rushed into it. So while I wish it wasn't there because I don't feel like it's adding anything, I can kind of commend it for not just being cliche YA romance. And another thing with the dual perspective thing going on, I actually prefer David's perspective to Zara's, and I don't know whether that's just because we already know him from the Wren Hunt and we're just starting to see another side of him. I'm not sure. I'm still kind of connecting with Zara, but we already know David, and it's very nice to just see things from his perspective and not just have Wren's view of him. I'm not trying to say he's a good person or he's a bad person or anything. I'm just saying we're now getting a more rounded picture, because obviously in the Wren Hunt, Wren was not a fan of him and he wasn't a fan of Wren, but now in this book we're starting to see the details of his life and what's going on for him, and it's just nice to see him fleshed out a bit more. However, that's not to say that I'm not enjoying Zara's parts. I am. I just prefer her kind of like mystery part as she's trying to find Layla and what happened to her. So yeah, I think as that develops I will come to enjoy Zara's perspectives more, but there's just a lot of like stuff about her home life, and that's not boring, it's just not as enjoyable as the more magic part of things, and that's obviously a huge part of this book and this story, and that is my favourite part and what I'm looking forward to reading about more and all that. But yeah, I don't really have anything else to add at the minute. It's difficult to talk about this one, I feel like, because obviously it is a sequel and it's not out yet, and there's the thing of I don't know how much I can say because it hasn't been released as an arc yet. This is a manuscript, and then there's also the thing of I can't say too much because it is a sequel, and I do think it is very much a direct sequel. So if you haven't read the Wren Hunt and you are interested in reading the Wickerlight, please read the Wren Hunt. You will not be disappointed. That one is amazing, and it will just explain a lot more of the things that are going on and that are being followed on to in the Wickerlight. So yeah, there will be more updates when I have read more. So yeah. Okay, so just a very quick, very late night update because I haven't read all day and therefore haven't thought to update. Yeah, quick little thing. I'm not liking the augurs as much in this book. The shift in them has been very apparent, and they are very much the bad guys in this, whereas in the Wren Hunt they were the good guys and the judges were the bad ones. I'm not trying to say that the judges are blameless or good. I think it's all very black and white. Well, no, I think it's all quite grey, not very black and white, and that they both have good and bad points. But yeah, definitely not liking the augurs as much in this one. Some of the things that Spiel especially has done, I'm just not a fan of. And another thing is that I'm still finding it a little tricky to keep up with all the terminology because there's not everything is in the glossary at the back of this, and obviously because there's no audiobook yet, we obviously, well, I don't know how some of the Irish words are pronounced because I'm not Irish. I struggle with pronunciations of things anyway, and the audiobook for the Wren Hunt really helped in that respect. And then a few little predictions I've got. I'm around the 300 page mark, and I have this strong feeling that the little old lady that the old lady that Zara has been meeting, called Callie, I have a feeling she is David's grandma, because there was a bit where Zara was like, oh, I haven't seen Callie in a few days, and then David said, my grandma hasn't left the house in a few days. So I feel like that could be a thing. But then I also think that if Callie is not David's grandma, then she could be Bive, the goddess. She's linked to the judges and the tokens and stuff that have gone missing. So yeah, I definitely think there's more to Callie than we are aware of, and I think she is linked to the judges in some way. But yeah, it's really late. I'm gonna finish the chapter I've just started and I'm gonna go to sleep and hopefully vlog some more in the daytime and hopefully finish the book soon, because it is really good, as I keep saying, and I'm really excited for it to be out in print so other people can read it, because let me tell you, reading a manuscript bloody hard. It's heavy. There's a lot of paper there. Okay, so it's been a little while since I gave you an update on the Wickerlight. Not that you'd be able to tell because I'm sat here in my dressing gown again. I've been trying to keep this vlog more reading, like, well, 100% reading and not including all the other stuff I've been doing, but it just turns out that I put my dressing gown on and sit and read. So, sorry for that. If it's worked out and you've enjoyed it, let me know. If not, again, let me know and I can include more stuff. But, big update is, look at this! We finally got a finished copy and I love it. Like, this is the spine, this is the cover, and it just, oh, it's so pretty. It matches the new cover of the Wren Hunt so well. Like, I know they redid the Wren Hunt to match this, but the pair of them just look beautiful together, and I love the colour on this. In the pictures I saw, I didn't expect it to be this neon, and I don't know if it's showing up quite as true to real life on camera, but it is a bit like neon salmon, but it's really pretty and I think it really works. And I just, the details on here, you've got the rook or raven bird, which is very poignant to what's going on, as well as all the bugs on there, and I just, it's just gorgeous. So yeah, this is the finished copy that will be coming out at the end of May, so stay tuned for that if you are interested. But yeah, I am that far in. I think I have about 80 pages left, and my god, have things taken a turn. I mentioned before that I wasn't enjoying this as much as the Wren Hunt, but when it picked up, I think I would start to enjoy it the same amount, if not more, and that is definitely true. Things have got a lot darker, like a lot darker than they were at the beginning, and also I would say probably a bit darker than the Wren Hunt. I'm just kind of in awe at Mary Watson's ability to craft such dark stories without getting like gruesome and gross about it. Like, it is very much the tone and the vibe that's dark. There's nothing really scary happening. It's a bit unsettling, yes, because like it's not nice what's going on and what's happened to Zara, but there's no gore, there's no like horror elements, but it's just so dark, and I love it. I love dark fantasy, and these two books have been absolutely perfect, so I really recommend this one. Please read the Wren Hunt and then pick this up when you get the chance, because it's just amazing. As for what's happening on my thoughts so far, I don't really have any new thoughts on that. I said that the augurs were a bit sketchy. That definitely, I'm not liking them at the minute, and I do still think it's interesting to see David's point of view, because you see the judges in a more kind of sympathetic light and you get to know them more. So I don't know, we've got the whole picture now with this book as well as the first book, so yeah, it's all well rounded, and I just love how thought out everything is. Nothing is black and white, it's all very grey, and you don't know who's good and who's bad and stuff, because everyone's got, you know, they're multifaceted, which is just so human. And I mentioned this in my wrap up and everything, and Ashleigh and I have spoken about it, and it is very human fantasy. It's just so realistic, because everyone's having genuine reactions to things that you and I would have. They're not thinking like, oh, this is all fine, it's fine, whatever. And it's not overreacted, it's like, it's snarky and sarcastic and a bit like, what the hell's going on? And you would be like that if you were in the same situation as Zara is, where you've had someone that you love die mysteriously and then there's all this weird stuff going on. You would be a bit like, what the hell? You wouldn't sit there and accept it. You wouldn't be like, yeah, no, this is fine, this is what happens here. You'd be like, no, I want to know what's going on. And Zara doesn't have a clue. She is getting some answers, but she's still very much like, sorry, what? So yeah, I'm really enjoying that, and I'm very excited to see how this ends, because right now I have no idea. But one of my earliest predictions about Layla stealing from the judges, that hasn't been 100% confirmed, but it's getting there. So I'm just like, okay, maybe some of the other things I've guessed will be right as well. But I will let you know. Just thought I'd pop in to say that we have a finished copy and it's glorious. Okay, so I finished the Wickerlight late last night and didn't have time to film an update for my thoughts and everything, so it's literally, I've just woken up and this is the first thing I'm doing. So, right, that ending, my god was it intense. I did feel that the pacing of it was a bit off. I felt that we had the rest of the book and then the final 50 pages, everything was jammed into it. However, that being said, I do think things wrapped up nicely and we got a lot of the answers we were looking for, so I'm not mad about that. I just feel like it was a bit weird compared to, we had like an almost 400 page book and then everything just happened in the last 50 pages or so, so that was a bit weird and off for me. But I did still enjoy how everything wrapped up, apart from one thing. There was one character that died, and I'm not going to say names, but when you read it you'll know, and I'm just like, why? Like, I read that chapter, I finished that chapter, turned the page, and immediately text Ashleigh, like, why, what? Like, so, yeah, I'm not happy about that. But everything else, I'm just like, yeah, okay, I can deal with that. I feel like there was a nice kind of ending to the characters, if that makes sense. Like, they didn't do anything out of character. I think that there was some more internal conflict that they were battling, and they handled it really well, and it was a satisfying ending. I do think that there could potentially be set up for a book 3. I'm not sure what that would follow. I just kind of feel like the way things ended there could be, because it was kind of like, oh, there's a fight, but now there's not, and it's fine, we've held it off, it's whatever. So I'm just like, could there be a book 3? I feel like there could. I feel like it could focus on maybe the war between the judges and the augurs, but I don't know what else it could do. I don't know what other like intricate plots could go on behind the scenes of that. But yeah, as for like plots and things that I had called, I was right about Callie one way. I'm not gonna say how, because you'll have to read it to find out for yourself, but I was right about that. And yeah, I think that's about it. I really enjoyed it. I ended up giving it 4 stars, and I think I enjoyed it. I don't know if I enjoyed it more than the Wren Hunt, because both were really dark, but both also had a romance that I was just like, eh. But I feel like the romance worked more in the Wickerlight, and that it was more developed and was given time to develop, so I enjoyed that more than the one in the Wren Hunt. However, the endings were both a little rushed, and I felt that they could have been drawn out a bit more, so yeah, I don't know which one I preferred. I did prefer this in a way because you get to see both sides of the judges and the augurs and everything's a bit more fleshed out, but then I really didn't like the augurs in this, so I don't know, I'm conflicted. I really enjoyed both. I gave them both 4 stars, so yeah, I think this was a nice like finish to this series, but in a way that could potentially leave it open for more, but not in an unanswered questions way. So I'm really happy with both of these books, and I can't wait to see what else Mary Watson puts out, because I will be straight on that, because just she's a master of weaving dark vibes into a story without being gross about it, and I really enjoyed that. So yeah, 4 out of 5 stars. Definitely pick up the Wickerlight when it's out, because you will not be disappointed. Read the Wren Hunt first because you need to, and again, you won't be disappointed with that. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this vlog here. I've tried to keep it purely reading, but there's only so many times you can show flipping through a book, and I don't know what else to do. But if you enjoyed it just purely being reading and my thoughts on the book, then please let me know that. If you would like to see more, or just have it where I kind of document everything that I'm doing during the time I'm reading the book, let me know. So yeah, I will see you again with another vlog, because I'll have my Daughter of the Forest vlog, which is the book of the month for Mistake Reads, so there'll be a vlog for that. But for now, I'm going to finally start reading that book, and I'll see you next time with another video. Bye.